what do we have here? Well, it would seem like a Dell E550 CRT monitor. And it is in spectacular condition. I do believe that it has never been used. Anyways, it should be VGA, and it's pretty old, being a CRT and all that, and beige. So we'll go ahead and unbox it, take a look at it. It's in remarkable condition. You can tell it's been in the box for a long time because the styrofoam is melted to the cord. And it still has the original cable tie, or at least it tried to stay on there. On the back there's nothing fancy, just a power adapter, and apparently someone robbed the power cord from here because there's no power cord in this box. I got plenty of these, plenty of those. So let's set it up and test it. So now we've got everything hooked up, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it on. As you can see, the power light of the monitor was flashing to indicate sleep, and now it's solid green to indicate power. And as you can see, we've already gotten through this thing's very fast BIOS. This is a Dell Dimension L1100r, but for effect, it's essentially an L1100r because I've upgraded the CPU to 1.1 gigahertz, and it also has 512 megabytes of memory. And just being weird there for a moment. We'll boot into Windows 95. The flicker's there, but I've seen worse. Could be that I have to fiddle with the refresh rate before the camera will agree with it either. I don't know, but on the screen, the refresh rate is flickery. I don't know if it's actually going to look exactly like that on the recorded video, but we will see. I hope sound is going to be picked up by that. Yep. It appears that we're operating in a low color mode right now, probably because I recently just pulled the video from this and it's still a little freaked out from that video card. I do believe that I need to enable the display. So as we boot into Windows 95 for hopefully the last time, as you can see, all the controls on this monitor are controlled based on these 4 buttons here. There is no on-screen display at all. And as we can see, we have a higher resolution now, which is excellent. So we'll go ahead and see what this bad boy can do. Currently got an 800 by 600 mode. Put that up to 24-bit color and also increase the resolution. And it did not like that. I would have to imagine that it's because we're trying to drive it in 1024 by 768 at 75 Hertz. And it probably does not like 75 Hertz. So, Windows 95 is a little smart and restores itself if you don't do anything within a few seconds. So we'll go ahead and turn the resolution down to 60 Hertz and hit apply. Yeah, no, there's no screen flickering on the camera now, but I see it in real life now. And then we'll try turning this up. And as you can see, it agreed that time. But for the sake of video performance off of the sucky onboard graphics on this, and also for the sake of being able to see things easier, and the sake of being able to use the higher refresh rate when I want to, I will just turn it down to 800 by 600. It ought to be enough for anyone. So anyways, this computer does have the ability to use the internet. Even though it's Windows 95, still sort of works. They recently changed the Msn Homepage, so anything lower than Internet Explorer 8 will not display, which is sort of stupid to me, but you know, we'll just go to google.com, everyone's favorite website. Except mine. And probably a lot of other people. They do a lot of tracking. And now, if you try to do much of anything else other than maybe like a Google search, it's not going to work because everything else will only use HTTPS. And Google search is like the only thing that still allows HTTP. And as we can see, that works. Can also check the weather. And I'm sort of wondering, I think IntelliCast would probably work on Internet Explorer 5. I'm not entirely sure. And this mouse has got a pad sticking and it's really annoying me. But also, if you want to try to do something slightly more modern, there is the browser RetroZilla, which is made by a few people on MSFN, I do believe. I'll include a link to it, but it's sort of under development, and it's been that way, but this is not quite the latest version. They've got some that I do believe have some better security ciphers, but it works. It'll do stuff like, let's see. Wonder if we'll even get the fancy newer version of Google.com, or if it'll push the old one. And I even have AdBlock Plus. Even though AdBlock Plus isn't very good, it's better than nothing on such an old computer. But we did not get a fancy version, but these buttons load now, like the fancy, probably cascading style sheets. So that's cool. Let's see. I'm sure it's gonna die when I try to load MSFN. It's trying. I mean, if you're really desperate, it's usable. Let's see about my website. I have to imagine that it will, because my website is like plain text. Hey, look at that. Yay. Let's try playing a game or two, shall we? We got DX Ball 2 right here. A legit copy. I do actually have a legitimate copy, though. I don't know why an illegitimate one is on this computer. Alright, we're gonna turn that music off, just in case there's something that's not copyright friendly about it. Oh, can't turn the menu music off. Ah! The stupid mouse. I should really be using mousepad. I'm sure you're thinking, sure, blame the mouse, but I suppose it has been a while since I played. So that could make me perform less good, but... Anyways. I do like when the monitor changes resolutions, how the screen fades back in. I think that's really neat. I don't have a whole lot of games installed on here, I don't believe. I mean, there's a few, but... Let's just go mess around in Windows XP, shall we? We'll go ahead and boot into Windows Fundamentals for Legacy PCs, which is a factory stripped down version of Windows XP. And it's not really changed a whole lot, as you can see by the fact that the Windows XP logo is still there on the boot screen. And it looks like we're running in... That might be 1024 by 768. If I can remember my password, that should be it. Now, if you're wondering, is web browsing still possible on a Pentium 3? Well, heavy sites will load, because we do have up-to-date browsers such as New Moon and Firefox 45, which I suppose Firefox 45 is no longer updated, but someone has been actually pushing security updates to Firefox 45 ESR still. A custom version that's based off of Nightly, I guess. And then there's also the SSE only fork of New Moon, because as you know, with recent versions of any browser, they require at least SSE 2, making it the bare minimum requirement being a Pentium 4 or a Celeron based on the Pentium 4. Now, heavy sites will load, like I said, but they're not very fun. They're really slow, and YouTube is sort of possible in really low resolutions if you use VLC. So anyways, now we're on a video, and if we try to play it normally, it's sort of watchable-ish, but not very good. If we click the VLC add-on, by right-clicking, we can just open it in VLC, And the newest version of VLC only supports a command line interface under SSE only processors apparently, which is a little odd, but it does work. As we can see, we sort of have a video playing from YouTube via VLC, but VLC 3 is extremely broken on SSE only processors. As you can see, it's negative and only taking up a small amount of the screen, which is interesting, but just a few years ago it was possible to play videos in the browser on a Pentium 3 with just YouTube's Flash player, and it ran beautifully, but now everything is so bloated. Anyways, I'm running out of recording space, so I think I'll end the video here. Thank you guys for watching, and see you later. Goodbye.